there's a well-regarded trader by the name of Peter Brandt that's a veteran in the trading industry that sees good things continuing to happen for Bitcoin, but that altcoins will be left in the dust. And I'm just here to say that I definitely do not think that to be the case. I think that with the rise of Bitcoin, you've also seen all these other coins rise in virtual lockstep, if not even more, because not only are these other coins locked to the price of Bitcoin on Binance and Crux24 and every exchange out there, but the same types of people that are using the Bitcoin are also using these other coins for more day-to-day practical applications where they need to send transactions for less than $3 or $2 or whatever it costs on a day-to-day basis in terms of Satoshi per byte or the amount of fees that are necessary to push it through the blockchain. And one of the interesting tidbits about today's news in the Bitcoin world is that over the last 24 hours, the first time that actually 1 million transactions have been done on the Ethereum network with using the Ethereum ETH. And I think what you have to keep in mind is that's a hugely impressive statistic, but you have to also remember that a ton, and the vast majority of certainly ICOs in the last year or two are using the ERC20 architecture on which to build their coin, and they distribute it on there through smart contracts where you send in some coin and you get dispersed within your same wallet through MetaMask or however you hold your funds, these coins. So in order to send these coins using any of the ERC20 tokens, you need Ethereum. And so you need to have some of that in your MetaMask wallet in order to push the transaction through. So all the activity that you're seeing with the basic extension token, BAT, or any of these other high flyers that are ERC20 require Ethereum. So it's not just people are using Ethereum like they would use Litecoin or some of these other altcoins that have their own blockchain. But people that interact on the Ethereum network to build dApps or do DeFi applications, they definitely have seen that this is the case. It's been very expensive over the last, I guess it would be 72 hours when the price has been spiking up and down, 20%, 15%, one day over 25%. So that volatility that's leading to, like on BitMEX, there was billions, not on like a daily basis, but like on a 15-minute basis for a lot of these coins. So it's creating a lot of froth, and that froth is creating a lot of transactions. And in order to be competitive and get your transaction through in the next block, you're going to have to pay more and more. So it's certainly understandable why it would be as expensive as it is to get it even the next half an hour worth of blocks when the block takes about 12 seconds on the Ethereum network. So there's a lot of competition to get their transaction and get confirmations through quick, and people that recognize what they're doing as a priority are willing to pay for it, which slows everyone else down. So, I definitely would disagree with the trader we talked about at the beginning there, because a lot of these use cases that Bitcoin kind of touches upon, these other altcoins really do a lot of a better job of carrying out. So the same types of functions that you would use a Bitcoin for, you would also use a number of altcoins for. So I see them continuing to rise along with Bitcoin, and you do have a breakaway position where if people start to adopt the Lightning Network on Bitcoin en masse, and the fees go from $3 to send anything to virtually nothing, which is what it is with Bitcoin Cash ABC right now, then that could have a hugely beneficial situation or outcome. Or it could be centralized like BitPay. You can send your Bitcoin from wallet to wallet for free, and there might be a big provider like a Coinbase or something that says, we don't really need the external network, let's embrace the Lightning Network and just have everything go through there. So that would be a way that you'd see like Bitcoin start to pump off like way above, like an Ethereum if the transactions still continue to stay high. But I really think that every coin should be able to adopt some sort of technology that'll lower the cost of the transactions. Yeah, you want to be able to incentivize the miners for securing the blockchain, but at the same time, it's a balance between that and keeping the transactions low so that people will still use the blockchain and want to make it to be used on a daily basis. And the thing about Ethereum is that every command that you use on Solidity will actually increase the gas required to push it through. So even simple commands, they add up. And if you want to do something with a smart contract, or much less start a smart contract or ERC20 token or something, those are very complicated commands. So it's going to cost a lot in gas to get those going. So even if you send a small, a relatively small amount of gas, in terms of how complicated what you're sending through is, it's still a lot of code, so it's going to cost you a lot of money or a lot of crypto. So hopefully this will be, kind of addressed in a creative way. I do know that I was on a site recently, and you just put the very basic identifying and confirmation signs through MetaMask, and the rest is done through its own little testnet within the Ethereum testnet system. So it costs nothing to send some more commands through, and in this case to send some of their ERC21 tokens from your wallet into this little auction system was like Auctiva, I believe. And so that's kind of an innovative way of not having to get any more transactions through the Ethereum network that you have to of the main net, and that saves a little bit of ether. So there's lots of innovative thinking out there as it relates to these big blockchain platforms, but I really think that Ethereum, because so much of the architecture is based on this blockchain, that it'll continue to do well, and everyone leaving SHIP, especially the DeFi and FinTech that are closely adhering to Ethereum as a backbone, are very unlikely to completely jump ship, except for, if it turns to tens of millions or hundreds of millions of transactions a day and they don't find a way to lower those costs of pushing things through. So I think you'll see a pump up of Bitcoin and many other altcoins that'll do well just alongside Bitcoin.